Transforming your life through hypnotherapy has never been easier. With the help of your host, Julie from CoachingHypnosis.net, and these power-packed minisodes, you're sure to find yourself engaging in more positive behaviors around both your physical and mental health. Here's your host, Julie.
G'day, it's Julie from CoachingHypnosis.net, and you deserve to know the one massive breast enlargement quirk for 2022, because people are sick of being friggin' beautiful with small pancakes. And I'm not a therapist or psychotherapist, but this is my 9th year as a clinical hypnotherapist in strategic psychotherapy. I help my clients online. They change their life without changing out of their pajamas. And this might seem like a frivolous use for hypnosis, but superficial enhancement has never been completely satisfactory to all women, and people want to know if you can go all natural. And women who feel confident about their breast size tend to feel nurturing, giving, loving, mothering. They have a strong connection to a womanly self-image, have fabulous feelings about their own femininity and motherhood. But those that feel unsatisfied with their breasts can sometimes feel an unwillingness to provide nourishment or to be nurtured physically or emotionally, have frustrated desires related to childbearing, feelings of inadequacy, feeling misjudged or misunderstood or not respected. And none of that is great, because you deserve to feel fabulous all the time, because you're perfect. And maybe you are very skeptical about how hypnosis could actually enlarge breasts. But there have been several scientific studies that have been promising, like the study published in 1974 in the Journal of Sex Research titled Stimulation of Breast Growth by Hypnosis, found 13 volunteers averaged a 2.11-inch increase in the circumference of their breasts. That's 2 cup sizes. The American Journal of Clinical Hypnosis in 1977 found when they used the technique of age regression and age progression that a woman's waist size decreased by 1.4 inches, and their follow-up study showed that 81% of the hypnotic breast enlargements were retained several months after the women stopped their visual imagery. That's a massive win. And again, the American Journal of Clinical Hypnosis in that same year used a different technique and averaged 1.44-inch increase in breast size for the 22 volunteers. It was totally colossal. Every woman had increased their breast circumference. And then there have been promising studies where subjects expressed a desire to reclaim the fullness and contour of breasts which they had before the pregnancies. And I don't know if when you first discovered your breasts were growing, if it was a pleasant time, if there were conflicts, or your subconscious mind thought you needed to have small breasts. But what you and I both know is, before puberty, when you're a small child, your breast tissues and glands were not developed. But one day, during puberty, your breast tissue started to develop, and maybe your breast tissue stopped developing before they reached the size that you desire. And women have had great success with hypnosis. With breast cancer, one woman told Dr. Siegel she imagined small, delicate birds searching her breast for breadcrumbs. Her imagination took on the form of golden breadcrumbs, and each day birds would eat the breadcrumbs. And after the birds had eaten their fill, she then imagined pure, white, spiritual light entering her body, and she would pray to God for guidance, renewal, and protection. And one morning she sat down for her relaxation and visualization exercise, and a white light suddenly appeared and spread through her body and her breast. She felt a power take over her, and after a short interval she slumped sideways in exhaustion. She knew something extraordinary had happened, and a few days later the woman went back for a checkup, and a mammogram revealed that her cancer had completely disappeared. And if you think anyone can just be a hypnotist, think again. In Israel, only physicians, psychologists, and dentists who have undergone special training and who have successfully passed the Ministry of Health examination in hypnosis are permitted to practice hypnosis in Israel. And in the UK, you need to apply for a license to be able to perform hypnosis in public. But in Florida, in the United States, the law requires that hypnotism for therapeutic purposes is only performed by a doctor, dentist, chiropractor, or optometrist, or be done under the supervision, direction, prescription, and responsibility of such a person. And I really don't know with breast enhancement if it is the subject is concentrating on their breasts, which is causing the blood to pool in the mammary tissue, much as if they were sexually aroused. But what I do know is, under hypnosis, subjects have the ability to regulate blood flow to various parts of the body. And in 1991, the Tampa Bay Times newspaper wrote a story about the hypnotist behind the breast enhancement claims, Michael Anthony Benning Stivers, a 34-year-old former police officer and professional wrestler whose stage name was Pretty Boy Benning. At his office in St. Petersburg and Largo, he expanded the possibilities of hypnosis far beyond the usual goals of stress, smoking, and weight control. And it was an eerie rainy day. Twilight darkened the room where Stivers' words were droned on softly. Cindy, a 34-year-old, appeared asleep in her reclining chair, and under the Indian print cotton blouse, under that was what she called her boring, plain old 34B bra. And those were the objects of this exercise. Cindy said she didn't necessarily want to be buxom. She just wanted to stop the sag. Stivers' first step was to take Cindy down, down, down into total relaxation, employing a litany of soft-spoken suggestions, he said. Your body may feel loose, limp, lethargic, as if you were a rag doll, he said. And the more you relax, the better you feel. The better you feel, the more you relax. He kept repeating, indeed, it feels so good to be relaxed. Cindy was urged to imagine that she was lying on the beach, topless, feeling the warm sun on her breasts. Stivers encouraged her to go back in time to the days when her breasts were just beginning to grow. Feel the sensations, he said. When the sensation was over, it was simply a matter to bring Cindy out of her trance. Stivers counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the count of 5, she opened her eyes, stretched and got up, and in another room she took off her blouse and measured in private 1/4 inch today, she said, when she emerged, beaming, and one 58-year-old Tampa woman at Stivers' office who declined to give her name said she had gained 3 inches in her chest through hypnosis in April, but lost 1.5 inches of it since then. So here is the one massive breast enlargement quirk for 2022. I'm going to direct you back in time to a time when your breasts were just developing. Remember your memories of that time, the changes that were occurring in your body. You were growing up, becoming a woman. I don't know if you noticed several changes at first. They might have seemed awkward, or people might have teased you. I don't know if you became sensitive or compared yourself with others. But somehow, maybe you noticed changes, how your clothes fit, or maybe you blushed more frequently, how your breasts became sensitive to touch. I'm curious if you can remember all of those feelings now. And some girls perhaps even you were embarrassed by what was occurring. Some girls pulled their shoulders forward, trying to hide themselves. Looking back on it now, it seems so silly, doesn't it? This was simply a natural part of growing up. I wonder if you can feel the physical feelings of when your breasts were developing now. They are growing, maturing, and during this time, we're going to do something very interesting with time. We're going to have your breasts continue to develop to a time in the future. They're going to continue to develop even now and for some time. The blood flowing is changing. Nourishment is increasing to the area. Hormones are being re-engaged in your body to bring on these changes. But all the while you are comfortable, you are healthy, you are happy. Imagine in a mirror in front of you. Visualize your body image to what shape you'd like it to be a month from now. Visualize what you'd like to wear in your figure. See yourself receiving compliments on your new shape. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to step inside your future body in the mirror and bring yourself into womanhood. 1. Getting ready to step inside the feminine you. 2. Take a deep breath. 3, step inside your fully matured adult body now. See what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel, and know what you know. Perfect. So what if you thought about breast enhancement hypnosis differently? And what if you didn't? The choice is yours.